Hi everyone, Mama Jane here. Happy Halloween! I'm wearing my lumpy space princess costume this Halloween because it's too hot to wear my really spooky heavy one. So this year we're going cutesy with lumpy space princess. I wanted to do a video about scary, freaky, spooky, horrifying moments in comics because I love scary comics so much, and I love scary movies and I love scary stories, and then as soon as I read them I'm like, that's great, I love this, and then when it's time to go to bed at night I'm lying there going, oh, now I can't sleep, I need to watch some Disney movies because I can't do this. So I love some scary stories, and I wanted to talk about some moments that I found really frightening or I found horrifying or really just disturbed me. So here's a list of my 5 favourite creepy, spooky, scary moments in comics. For this video, I'm going to be talking about events that happen in the middle or at the beginning or near the end of stories. So I just want to post a big spoiler warning, and I recommend you read all of these series because they're amazing, but spoiler alert! Spread issue 3, Don't Look a Gift in the Mouth. So Spread is a horror comic. That is why it goes so low on this list, because you expect this kind of thing from Spread. It's a really, really great series. It's very gross, it's very scary, it's lots of fun. So in Spread issue 3, I'll skip most of the story stuff because it's just this one scene that's really scary. One of the characters is taking a bath, and while he's bathing, a prostitute comes in. And as they start getting down, his hands sink right through the prostitute, and it turns out this prostitute is the Spread in human form. Now, the reason this bit was so scary is because it changes the rules of this comic. It changes the rules of what the Spread can do, and it was definitely not something you were expecting in this random adults only scene. So that one was really creepy. It just, when you think you know something and then all of a sudden the rules change, it can be really scary. Amazing Spider-Man issue 30. Amazing Spider-Man, the run of Coming Home arc was so good. It has one of the scariest scenes, and not something that I would ever expect from a Spider-Man comic. We come along to a withered, skinny, unwell-looking German superhero pleading in broken English and German that he has no more, he can't give any more. And all you see is just a shadow fall across his face and him screaming. And it's such a horrifying thing having this person plead for their life in 2 languages and looking so withered and unwell. And as the bad guy takes his energy, all he says is, whoever heard of a German superhero anyway? And I just found that so creepy and so scary. This is a story that I read probably about 5 years ago, and it is still one of the creepiest things that sticks in my head from comics. The Mighty Thor issue 20. We'll have ourselves some goose egg omelettes. The Mighty Thor is a great series, and if anyone's been following the series, they know that the Light Elves are all refugees hiding in different places at the moment. Volstagg is an ambassador for the council, and he goes to see this refugee camp, and he comes across some children, and they're all starving, and he is feeding the children, and then they get attacked, and Volstagg and these children get separated, and he's promising the children, I'll take you to my home, we'll have some goose egg omelettes, and then the next thing you know, they're attacked, and all of the children die. They all get roasted, and this scene is just so horrible because it's not something that you would ever think was come out of a Thor comic. Just to have all of these really cute little children having this nice little scene with Volstagg telling them he's going to feed them and it's going to be okay, to then have them suddenly incinerated with a firebomb and Volstagg being the only one survives, it is so confronting, and it just came out of nowhere for this series. So that's something that always stuck with it. Just it's just creeping me out just thinking about it. Roasting children is definitely a horror thing. Rat Queens issue 6, Old Lady Bernadette. Rat Queens, if you've seen any of my other videos or my blog or my Instagram, you know that I love Rat Queens. And despite being an incredibly bloody series, it wasn't in its first arc a particularly frightening series. So that's why in issue 6, the first issue of the new arc, Hannah goes up to Old Lady Bernadette, who was the organizer of all of the bad things that happened in the first arc, and grabs her shoulder, and as she turns around, her eyes have been sucked out and she's just got holes and little, it's horrifying, just holes where her eyes was supposed to be. And it comes so unexpected in this comic because despite being incredibly bloody, there was no truly horrifying images, not like this one. This was in your face. You have nightmares about this kind of face. This is the kind of thing you see in your nightmares. So that is just, it was so out of the blue. Creepy, 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 creepy. Sweet Tooth issue 37. Bobby Am Need Help. Sweet Tooth is an amazing series. It's full of scary, creepy, confronting, just all around. The series has a creepy vibe and it's wonderful. It's a series that I really, really enjoyed. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend it. But one of the creepiest things that always stuck with me about this series was the group has left Bobby in a place that they think is safe. And the group's continued on to Alaska. The place where Bobby is gets raided by the bad guys, and the next time you see Bobby, he's crawling towards the group. He's been running for days and days and days, and around his neck he has the dead crow boy tied, and all he can say is, "Bobby Am Need Help." And it's just something you have to remember about the series is they're all children. They're, you know, they may be the human-animal hybrids, but they're all children. And to think of what Bobby would have gone through for that, and just to have such a violent imagery of the poor dead crow boy tied around his neck, it's just horrifying is the only way that I can describe it. And for a character that's so sweet and everybody loves so much, it's so in your face. And that page has stuck with me. Every time I think of Sweet Tooth, that's probably one of the first things I think of, is how scary and confronting this image was. The whole thing is fantastic, but this, it just gets you. It's so sad and it's so terrible and it's so scary that it's brilliant. I love Sweet Tooth so much. That's it for my scary, creepy, spooky moments in comics. Thank you guys so much for coming to see my Halloween video. I want to know, what's your scariest moments in comics? Leave it in the comment section down below. I will catch you guys next time. Bye!